Now, Stormwatch 12 weather on Newswatch 12.
Well, temperatures were pretty hot throughout the Rogue Valley. In fact, it was 97 degrees. That is our current temperature in Medford. But temperatures were cooler along the Oregon coast, generally into the 60s. I'm not sure what happened with Brookings' temperature, but it was actually 65 when I checked at the airport. But extending off towards the east, temperatures were cooler though, still warm though, plenty into the 80s. Now looking at our satellite and radar composite, we're into northwestern California right now. I want to show you some smoke plumes. As you can see here, again, these are different smoke plumes. And again, we do have thunderstorms in the region. And here's a good batch of thunderstorms that moved right over the Happy Camp area, moving off towards the northwest. Looks like this particular cell is splitting apart just a little bit. And again, right over the Smith River complex fires, again, that's smoke, not actually clouds or not actually rain in those particular spots. Now, I took out the radar so you could see the difference, but this light gray, whenever you see this light gray in this particular scenario, and again out towards the Oregon coast, that's all smoke. And these are clouds that are forming right over the Siskiyou Mountains at this time. Now extending off towards the north and the east a little bit, just to the northeast of Medford, we do have a thunderstorm that's just to the south of Cascade Gorge. That one looks to be fizzling out at this particular time. Extending all the way out towards the east in Lake County, plenty of showers and thunderstorms, not a whole lot of lightning at this particular time, which is good news. The only good part about this is that the rain that is falling, it is evaporating before it reaches the ground, but it is actually moistening up the air. So the longer we continue with that particular pattern, it'll actually help to make some of that rain actually make it all the way to the ground. Now there is an area of low pressure that's actually pushing off towards the southwest. That's part of the reason why we're getting the thunderstorms today. And we're going to continue with the heat in the 97 in Medford today. We're going to see temperatures kind of similar to that for the next couple of days because of that low pressure. So again, the worst air quality is mostly over Josephine County, but this is going to be pushing off towards the east over the next several hours. And you can see with our high resolution smoke forecast, again, that pushes from west towards the east. So the good air, the decent air that we've had over the last several hours, well, kind of absorb that as much as you can, because for the next several days, we're going to have a lot of smoke in the air. The only real place that's going to get a break would be the Oregon coast, and that's going to only be from time to time. Now, the National Weather Service has a red flag warning, so high fire danger for all areas shaded in red, again for abundant lightning. These thunderstorms, when they pop up, they're going to be moving very fast. They'll have rain associated with them, but they're going to move so fast that they're not going to really help in terms of any fire situation. So again, if lightning strikes, it might rain for like a few minutes and then it's out of the area. So that's not really all that beneficial. Now our stormcast, again, showing the showers and thunderstorms developing during the overnight hours along the Oregon coast and in the Coast Range. We could see a few here in the Rogue Valley, but it's not as likely. But again, essentially east of Klamath Falls out towards Lakeview, plenty of activity for the next several hours. Now, once we go through tomorrow, things calm down quite a bit. The only real thing to talk about would be fog and low clouds along the Oregon coast and some patchy drizzle. So again, there's that area of low pressure staying offshore, which is going to pump up heat into the region through about Monday. And then Monday, that system finally moves through and temperatures will start to cool off. But again, it's going to depend on the timing in terms of how quickly we cool off on Monday. Now here's our precipitation forecast. Again, there's going to be a system moving through on Tuesday. It'll be beneficial for the fires up north. Won't actually help us here in southern Oregon. Now again, temperatures right now, it's still very hot. 96 degrees here in Medford, a very dry air mass right now at 47 for our dew point. But tonight we're going to drop to 64 in Medford, 96 again for tomorrow, 70 for Crater Lake, 80s extending out towards the east in Lakeview. So here's your 7-day forecast for the Oregon coast. Again, it's going to stay in the 60s for the next several days. A few showers possible the next couple of days, but smoke lingers through at least Saturday. Same scenario in Northern California. It stays dry. We're going to have to wait for Tuesday for most of these locations before we finally get some relief from the hot temperatures that we've had. But again, the Cascades, you're going to stay in the 80s, but you're going to cool off towards closer to room temperature by the time we get towards Tuesday. And again, the Rogue Valley, it's going to stay awfully hot, 95 to 97, 98. Again, plenty hot through Sunday. Monday is going to depend on how quickly that system moves through, whether it's another 97 or maybe a little bit cooler, but at least most of next week looking much more pleasant.
We'll take it. Oregon